Okay, now everyone can hear me. Sorry, I was playing around with my computer. I just built my computer and I guess I was muted for the first couple of seconds here. But welcome to Conductor Sunday live stream. It's great to be back on an actual schedule. Shout out to all of our moderators. Shout out to all the people in the chat. We already got people in the chat, so we're gonna break this all down for you guys. Um, and it's going to be an exciting night. We're going to talk about Universal. We're going to talk about Disneyland. We got 2 videos up from Alicia Stella theme park stop about Epic Universe. We also got a video from Hey Bricky. We're going to also review talking about the new Coco dark ride going in Pixar Pier. So we're going to review both of those and go from there. But again, I'm your host, Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Bluesky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on X at Theme Conductor. You can also find me every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Conductor Sunday live streams. It's always a fun time because I love answering your guys' questions and getting into a debate about the theme parks. It's always a lot of fun. But let's start off with our first comment here. David says, "Hey, Conductor, is Dylan going to be on your live stream today?" No, he's not going to be on, but I'm still trying to get Dylan on the live streams because he's one of the other YouTubers I really want to get on the show. So, and when I was on one of his live streams recently, like in the chat, he said he would love to come on. So we just got to work it out. We got to work it out. Jacob Weller, always great to have him on. Jacob says, "What do you think the most unrated classic monster is?" If I had to guess, I don't know. Creature from the Black Lagoon kind of screams my name. I know there. I heard there were plans to sit there and have a attraction based on him. I know there's an animatronic in the Monsters Unchained ride at Epic Universe and Dark Universe. So I think he needs his own attraction. I think he's underrated, personally, for me, because it was last year they just celebrated the 70th anniversary of Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I think he's underrated. He said, could they bring the holidays like Snoggle Tog, Christmas, and other Christmas events at Epic Universe? Well, that's a great question, Jacob Weller. I think they are going to bring Christmas overlays to Epic. How soon they're going to do it, I don't know. It's a possibility that they're gonna be either bringing it this year or next year. Who really knows? I'm not 100% sure myself. So, but I can't imagine that they wouldn't. I can't imagine they wouldn't. Brandon Smith, always great to have on in the chat. He said, "Yeah, Dylan's doing more live streams. Yeah, it's a great thing. He's trying to do everything now. He's trying to do videos, POVs, live streams. Shout out to Dylan from Theme Park Obsession for doing that. But like I said, I'm still working on trying to get him on the show. So hopefully very soon we will begin him on the show for sure. So I just wanted to point this out to you guys. Let me see if I can make this a little bit there. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so that way it looks a little bit better. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I want to point this out. This is from Patrick is Happy Paint the Night is Back. That's a long name, but interesting name. And one of the things he posted about on X is, I really hate how stagnant the castle looks and feels with no fountains. So this is gonna be in the Bricky video we're gonna review here in a little bit. And one of the things that kind of makes me upset as a magic key holder is I kind of thought those fountains, and the fountains came from the Disney 100, were actually going to be a permanent installation um, at the castle, and they removed them. So it's very sad that they removed it. It kind of kills off a little bit of kinetic energy. That's what I'm getting at. So it's kind of sad that that happened, but I guess unfortunately you can't always get what you want, even though we all wanted that. Albert Rodriguez says, isn't he moving to Orlando? Yeah. Theme park obsession, he is planning on moving to Orlando. So sometime either this year or next year. But I definitely want to get him on the channel before he moves or after he moves. So we'll see. Brandon Smith said, the last time I went to Disneyland in April, the fountains did work. Again, I think they removed them, and it's sad that they did remove them, kind of like in the Pixie Hollow area. And again, this is all in the Hey Bricky video we're gonna watch. It's kind of sad to me that they removed them. It really is a sad thing, and it kind of sucks. But it's just what it is, I guess. Can't always get what you want. Again, it sucks. Let me see if I can. I just gotta share my screen again, and we will watch. Again, this is from Bricky, so we're gonna watch this, and we're gonna go through it. Let's unmute it. Here we go.
Flight school is down, but I don't know if that's permanent because it doesn't seem like maintenance is happening. But on the other side of Goofy's Flight School, on the edge of Paradise Gardens, we see one of the seasonal meet and greet areas boarded up with construction walls. Typically, when there's a theme that's switching over, they just kind of do it out in the open. This being construction wall up is very curious and something we'll keep checking up on. Let's walk around the entire foot of DCA and see what all we can discover before we hop over to Disneyland. I'm so glad you showed up, and I'm so glad that you care about the constant evolution of the parks just like I do. Make sure you subscribe if you want to check out a weekly construction update. Sunday mornings, we'll roll around the park, see what we can find together. I don't know what I love more, that Disney offers playing cornhole when attractions are shut down, or the people take them up on the opportunity to play cornhole when attractions are down.
So I just want to point out something. It is interesting to me that Disney, like Bricky was saying, when they sit there and they do something like that, instead of just having the attraction closed, construction walls up, and nothing's going on, I love that the cast members at least do something. Oh, that's not good. My fault. Let me go back here. I don't know why my TV did that. I'm using my TV as a second monitor here, and it's acting funny. Let me see. Okay, let me go back. Because I had it, and now it's gone. Okay, let me see. Still playing around with my settings. So, still trying to get this going here. Okay, let me go back. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me go back. All right.
Either way, it's kind of a sweet little moment.
So, like I was saying, though, one of the things I find extremely interesting is that at least cast members do something. Cornhole might not be the best thing, but at least they're, keeping that magic somewhat going. They're interacting with guests and whatnot. So I love that. I love that cast members do that.
And showing there's no wrong way to Disney. Assuming most people here know about Hey Bricky. Make sure you check it out, because yesterday I put up a video breaking down where I feel like a lot of fans have gotten something pretty wrong about the placement of Coco. And
so please subscribe to Hey Bricky. Again, we're going to be doing a lot more reaction kind of content on Conductor Sunday live streams, whether it's me solo or I have a guest on. So definitely go check out Hey Bricky. He's going to be a main source when it comes to that.
Where it will come and how it will transform DCA for the future, and my prediction on parades. Do they go away or do they stay? Watch the video and find out.
So one of the things I have to say about this right here, this is a perfect shot. I wish it was at night where you could see the lights and all that. I love how they did that signage on the port. It looks so awesome. So awesome.
Want a tip that could save you hundreds on car insurance? Switch to...
Nothing to report over on Pixar Pier other than that little area at the edge of the gardens. Let's check out the interesting pinch point between Radiator Springs and Avengers Campus. Definitely expecting big crowds this weekend because this is...
So it's interesting. Yeah, I know, Jacob. You gotta love those ads. They're so annoying. So annoying. Bricky's pointing out an interesting thing here. So you see this in the background, this sign. Usually you can go up to that and you could take a whole photo and all that of the hillside of Radiator Springs Racers. This is all blocked off. This is extra queuing area for this attraction. That's how busy it's going to get at Disney, the Disneyland Resort this weekend. So it's going to be packed. And 4th of July weekend, or 4th of July, it's going to also be packed. So that's why you see these ropes here that Bricky's pointed out.
Is all roped off. When you can walk up there to the map and get that beauty shot, that's when you know they're not expecting a super packed day.
So it's actually kind of funny with him. I actually did I think it was a YouTube reel. This was like a few years ago, and that literally blew up. And it was like literally 10 seconds. It was either him or Mater, I forgot. And it literally blew up on YouTube. That was interesting.
Are you kidding me? I'm always going to stop when I see a celebrity passing by. Good to see lightning. Ka-chow! Whoa, it is even more cleared out from last week's discovery. There was a little bit of concrete work that we could see in there, and it is now gone, baby, gone. Wow, all that beautiful facade work that stitched the two lands together seems to be completely cleared out. You can see there's the top of a tractor trailer right there, which means that it is at least open enough for a big rig to back into this location.
So I also want to point out, if many of you don't know what's going on here, this is part of the expansion to Avengers Campus. Apparently they're adding a restroom back here. So they cleared a lot of the concrete, and we're going to see it from Bricky. He took a before and after clip of what it looked like in this area, because this is a transition point between Avengers Campus and Radiator Springs, Cars Land. So that's what he's showing us right now.
Man, this has become way bigger and way more disruptive than what I was originally imagining. I can still spot some of that original concrete wall that's there on the bottom right of your screen. But this is taking out a lot of the great show setting that was there.
So this is what's behind construction walls right now. How much of this is gone, we don't know. So we'll see. So I just want to answer this. A restaurant or a restroom? It's going to be a restroom. It's going to be a restroom. Giant Peter Show, always great to have you on. What's up, Conductor Choo Choo? Absolutely. Hot steamy caboose with that news. Always great to have the Giant Peter Show on in the chat. If everyone hasn't done so, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot.
But luckily for us, I filmed it all before it went away with no folks in it. So we'll forever have those details for before and after. And if you're new here, whenever you see footage with black bars around it, that's historical footage, allowing you to know the difference between today's footage and...
Okay, that is a humongous crane or construction vehicle. They are digging deep. Interesting.
The archive of watching the park slowly rebuild itself time and time again. Oh, wow. They are vacuuming or pouring concrete or something back there. That's great. Busy, busy, busy. Now, obviously, we got to go over to the other side to see what it looks like from Avengers Campus. You asked me for a photo earlier, so it's payback. My new friend I made today. I don't know if you guys can hear, but the spraying of something is happening right on the other side of us. Maybe my microphone doesn't pick it up because it's designed to block out noises like that. Very interested to see if this will be done in time for Oogie Boogie Bash, because this is the platform, or the area I should say, where the platform would be placed for Agatha, but who knows?
So Bricky makes a good point here. This is the area for Agatha for Oogie Boogie Bash, which is coming up because the Halloween season is right around the corner for at least for the theme parks. To answer Bricky's question, I think it is going to be ready because this area is not affected. So I think that's why they have the construction walls there. They're getting it ready.
Oh, so are they going to mix up what characters they get this year? Because I know that they're not going to do another season of Agatha, which is a bum out, because to me, that's maybe the best Disney Plus Marvel series I've ever seen. Love that song in that show. It's going to be very interesting to see what exactly is different here. Like, will we notice anything that's different in this space? And does this space always stay isolated from the up-and-coming two attractions that Avengers Campus is getting in? If you're counting, right now, DCA is at the very beginning of 4 new attractions showing up at the resort. 2 e-ticket, a Coco-themed boat ride, as well as a weird Kuka arm training mission type attraction. We're not sure if it's a Kuka arm. I've just heard people say that.
So Bricky's right. We're getting 4 new attractions. 2 of them in Avengers Campus. One is the Kuka arm Stark Flight Labs. The other one is Infinity Defense, which is the e-ticket attraction we've been waiting for since 2019 and changed multiple different times in ride technology. So we've been waiting for that attraction since 2019. And then, like Bricky said, we're getting the Coco Dark ride, which is going to be in Pixar Pier. And then also we're also going to get, let me see here. We're also going to get another attraction as well, and that's going to be part of Avatar, which has basically at this point been confirmed, or pretty much confirmed, to go in the Hollywood backlot.
Simplify your moving experience
Get
with the
the Weller.
Mayflower personalized move portal.
Like I said,
It's
I
how
love
smart
those
moving.
ads.
From this side, we really can't see much other than just the big opening. Seems that the vantage point is definitely over on the Radiator Springs side of this passageway. Thank you.
So when I go to Avengers Campus, I love seeing Groot. Groot's awesome. He's one of the best meet and greet characters. I love hanging out with Groot when I see him.
Thanks, Groot. All right. I know I spent a lot of time. All right, back to our lab. Sorry, I love this place. If I see good vibes, I'm always going to chase them. I'm required. Almost done with our lap around DCA, but I do have to point out, and I keep pointing it out, how much this sucks.
So what he's pointing to right now is they basically put a banner over the marquee, and the marquee is real. And they put a banner over it with the show coming. It's kind of cheap, in my personal opinion. So I agree with Bricky on this.
Come on, let's do a real marquee and not a banner over the top of the marquee. I will keep checking on this weekly until it is corrected. Never too proud to admit when I get one wrong. I missed this little detail last week and only realized what had happened after it was pointed out to me by my friends over at WDWNT. There was a three-dimensional sign here, a neon-style sign that has been replaced by a fake wood flat mock-up. Now, I'm hoping that the original sign is just in the shop.
So I do remember this sign. It was like a three-dimensional light up sign. So I agree with Breaky. Hopefully this is temporary, but I don't know. They went through a lot of trouble to put this up, so who knows? But it does look temporary, because if you look at it, it looks like it's just being hung with wires. It doesn't even look like it's permanent. You got the stubs here and all that. So I do think this is permanent. So hopefully that's the case, because I love those classic marquee signs. Well, not marquee signs, but classic, classics.
And this is a very detailed replacement and not a permanent solution. The reason it was so easy for me to miss it is I always fixate on this candy sign, one of the absolute best signs in the park. So when I see it, I'm like a moth to a flame. So I never even noticed that the other sign had been replaced with a knockoff. Like I said, let's hope that this is just temporary while work's being done to the real one. Let's move over to Disneyland. It is a little bit before 11 a.m. and it is absolutely slammed out front of Disneyland. I don't think the new system is such a good system. Let me explain the problem as I see it. This new system is putting way too much responsibility on the consumer. The consumer doesn't know the system, and they shouldn't be responsible to know the system. That's why they are the consumer. Disneyland is always going to have thousands of people that are showing up for the first time ever or the first time in years. Expecting that those people are going to know how this new system works is just insane. And there are cast members at every gate. But the problem is this. Many of the cast members act like their feet are planted in concrete, and they refuse to leave their end of the turnstile, barking orders at confused guests from 4 feet away, while every other queue around them has kids melting down, people being loud, people not paying attention. Like, the woman in front of me had to take her baby, wake it up out of the stroller, hold it up to the camera so the camera could take a photo of the baby. The cast member could have walked over there and took a quick snapshot of the kid. The poor woman, don't think English was her first language, was having an incredibly hard time. All out, 17 minutes to get to the front gate. Now, me personally, I breezed in. I was inside of 10 seconds. I'm wearing a magic band and I come here all the time. But the lady in front of me was not having a magical time, and it is not her fault. This system needs to be rethought out to where.
So I want to ask you guys, clear out. Has anybody, and I mean anybody, had any issues going through the new turnstiles at Disneyland? Don't get me wrong. I love the new turnstiles, but I do agree with Bricky, though. I do agree with Bricky that, and he's going to say in a few moments, the turnstiles at Walt Disney World are so much more advanced. Even the most confused and uneducated guests when it comes to these new turnstiles or their turnstiles doesn't know what to do. It's so easy to understand. So I get what Bricky's saying about these turnstiles, because like him and many other magic key holders, now that we have these turnstile gates, I just use my magic band, scan it, boom, I'm in within, and he's going to say it within 10-15 seconds. But for the people that don't know, that takes, a lot longer. And then exactly what Bricky's saying with the whole idea of having to wake your kid up just to take a picture for the facial recognition. I agree with Bricky. Why couldn't the cast member just take their phone or their little phone that they scan tickets, magic keys, and just take a picture of the kid without waking them up? So I do agree that's something that Disney definitely needs to work on at the Disneyland Resort,
where cast members are able to help guests, not bark orders at them from 4 feet away. And I guess the thing that really upsets me about the gate is I know there's a better system because it's Disneyland's system. If you've ever been to Magic Kingdom, you can breeze inside of that park regardless of how busy it is in under 5 minutes. They can do better because they've already done better. All right, I'm done with it. The distance behind me, there's a child melting down. Not uncommon at Disneyland, but this child is my spirit animal because his meltdown is because he wants to ride the Disneyland train, and his family said, no, keep fighting, little one, keep fighting. The vibes are strong in you. Follow up on last week's cover story, and as predicted, water back in the lagoon, light rigs are absent. The quiet magic nighttime show is over. R.I.P. magical friend, R.I.P. So sad. So sad to see this be one of the things that they chose to remove. What could it have cost? I'd love to know the why. Why did it have to go away?
This is Google Pixel 9a with Gemini. Right now it's free at Verizon with plans.
Yeah, you're a whole other story. Yes, I'm excited that the water's back. And yes, I love all the storytelling details. But I just remember a version of Disneyland that was better, and it wasn't too far away. Okay, can't complain about what's gone. But you can see why they spent all the time airbrushing the bottom of this lagoon. As explained last week, you can now see with water in it how it takes regular chlorine water and gives it way more of a magical teal beach-like appearance. So, a little bit of storytelling. And the pathway to Pixie Hollow still shut down. But I believe...
So I want to ask you guys, because Pixie Hollow has been down for God knows how long. This little area for a meet and greet location, why is it taking so long to get this little area done? I don't understand it. I don't know if there's something severe they need to do in this area to fix. I don't know if they were cutting down on entertainment. That's why they closed this area off. I'm not sure, but it's taking forever to get this up and running. I don't understand that. I don't get it. It's bizarre. It's really weird.
It should be back rather soon. I don't know if you can see it at home, but through the mesh with my own eyes, I can see that there's still supplies back there. So there is definitely stuff that's happening. And you can see how the entire area is scrimmed off. giving them the entire work area to bring this back. I do love this little meet and greet. One of the absolute best in the park. Doesn't totally apply to me, but just love seeing it open. And I've witnessed before when my niece was little, the magic that the spot creates. And I wish that for many other proud uncles.
So I want to get to a comment Jacob Weller said, and then also Park Explorer. I think it's their first time in the chat, so thank you for joining Park Explorer. Jacob Weller said, I assumed Tinkerbell is out of pixie dust or with Peter Pan. Probably. They're probably trying to come up with a way to fix Tomorrowland. It's probably what it is.
Not tackling the Matterhorn this week. Look for a future video over on the main channel, Hey Bricky, breaking down some of the rumors and the legacy that has been circulating the Matterhorn the last couple.
So we Bricky was saying he's going to do a video on his main channel about the Matterhorn because it's having some major issues. So we will be doing a review, and we'll probably have Orange Grove 55 and George from Citrico Central on that Conductor live stream when he does drop that video. So do keep that in mind.
Couple years where it literally feels like it's struggling to stay alive. We'll tackle that in its own standalone video.
More ideas of the monorail. Please watch your stop watcher and it is well cleared. Monorail ready.
I've seen comments.
Of course,
like, it would be so much easier if there was an app and I could just stream it to my TV.
I had Jason from AT10 to compare those apps.
While we're pointing out water features that are gone, you may remember that fountains showed up right here, flanking each side of the Disneyland drawbridge for the 100th anniversary of Disney as a corporation. But for the 70th of Disneyland, both of those fountains have been removed. I would have swore that would be the type of thing that would stay forever, a subtle detail commemorating that anniversary that stayed around well past the 100-year celebration. But
yeah, so it's kind of sad, like we were talking earlier, about the fountains, because it just kind of brought some life to the outside of the castle, the front of the castle. So it's kind of sad they removed those, or if they didn't remove them, they don't have them on, which is kind of sad as well.
Where there once was a fountain, we now have a duck butt. I mean, not the worst downgrade. Looks like another summer where this one didn't quite pan out the way they intended. No splash pad. And from what I hear, it's because to do this in public, you also have to provide a shower. So the splash pad.
So, this is a new one. I haven't heard anyone say this before. The reason Bricky thinks, from what we just heard, he thinks the reason why the splash pad isn't working is because Disney has to provide public showers, which is kind of weird to me because you got Super Silly Funland at Universal, which is a water park, and you see kids freaking fully clothed running through that. So is that really the reason? Who knows?
Stays dry due to bureaucracy and that sweet red tape. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. No budget to set the mailbox up a little bit higher. Look how beautiful this is, all bloomed. Maybe slightly overgrown. A little bit hard to see the storybook land in there, but those magenta flowers are really popping out. This attraction is scheduled to go down soon for some annual maintenance. One of my favorites, and I want to just say boo to the mom that I heard when her daughter said, I want to ride that. And mom's reply was, no, you don't, just a boat ride. Mom, it's so much more.
I would agree with that. Storybook Land, when I have gone on it, it is more than a boat ride. It tells a magical story. It's one of the calmest, funnest, educational attractions in Disneyland. I love going on it. When it doesn't have a long wait, I will go on it myself. So I love that attraction. Jacob Weller, you said, what's the reason they have Disney ducks? I know the cats are prevent mice, but what do the ducks do? Well, that's a good question. You know what's funny about the duck situation? It's funny to me because we have a friend, and I've talked to him on Orange Grove 55's channel. His name is Mr. Seymour Duck. So whenever we see ducks in a video, we always say, "Oh, Mr. Seymour Duck is looking out and patrolling the area." That's just a little inside joke, but I don't know what the deal with the ducks are, but it's pretty cool that they're just walking around with guests. So that's pretty cool. Hey, as long as they're not attacking any kids, I'm okay with it. David said that's taking so long. Yeah, the splash pad, I don't know if it's ever going to be put online at this point. I just don't know.
Than just a boat ride. It's a portal into fantasy. And the sun has decided to show up, as it often does in the month of June, right before noon. Absolutely beautiful rock work. I love that keyhole and that land bridge straight across from us. Such a nice subtle detail that just makes it feel like it goes on and on and on. Oh, Blue Milk Line, how much longer will you be able to stay the test of time? I want to give you a program update or note that if you watch the fireworks here, you just get really basic projections. But there is now music that's been added. However, if you wait till after the fireworks, it was 10:15 the night we were here, you get these storytelling projections that take over the spires, which are absolutely fantastic. So if you come in this area, make sure to ask a cast member what time the nightly projections are. I highly recommend watching it. It's by far...
Jacob Willard said blue milk is delicious. You know what's funny about that? The blue milk is absolutely delicious. It's refreshing. The green milk, I tried it. I tried it when they first debuted it. I don't know. The green milk I don't know. It doesn't have the same refreshing taste to me as the blue milk does. I love the blue milk.
The best projection show I've ever seen Disneyland or Disney do. It used to be my favorite, what they do on the Tree of Life in Animal Kingdom, but this has definitely taken first place. And it's great because it allows guests the opportunity to see a completely different nighttime show if you miss fireworks or Fantasmic, or just don't care for getting in the super dense crowds. Low attendance, high magic. It's a win, it's a win, it's a win.
Auto insurance all seems the same until it's time to use it. With USAA, it's easy to file claims.
Another little Star Wars pivot. They have taken the side entryway to Sack's Kettle, and they have now introduced a little seating area, 3 or 4 little tables, because they realize there's not a lot of wait time for Star Wars popcorn. Interesting to see this stand and the blue milk stand definitely struggle to find a fan base and an identity. My suggestion, start selling the cold brew coffee with the cocoa pebbles, space rocks on top, and you'll instantly get a bigger audience.
So I want to ask everyone watching, has anyone tried that coffee drink that Bricky's talking about with the cocoa puffs on top and all that? I think that would be a great drink to have in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
At one of these two locations. Because as it currently stands, you can't get cold brew coffee in this land until Docking Bay 7 opens up, which on most days is 11 a.m. If one of those two were selling coffee, it'd absolutely crush it. Out in Orlando, they sell coffee at Ronto Roasters. That would be another successful way to do it, but there's just not a crowd for the milk stand or the popcorn stand. So it seems like one of those could definitely become more coffee adjacent, get coffee in here earlier, and disperse the audience, because the amount of people that go into Docking Bay 7 just to get coffee and congest everything around it is definitely a problem that all the cast members there, unfortunately, have to deal with. Ray is the...
So I 100% agree. That's something they can easily fix and put in those two spots. The second thing that we're looking at right now is the Ray's Beret or Barrett's gift shop. And this is for Tiana's. But do all you remember when that rooftop was all green and all that? Now it's all like dead and dry brush. I don't know if they don't like turn on the sprinklers anymore for that area, or there's a broken pipe somewhere, or they're trying to save money on water. I don't know what the deal is, but that's a fire danger right there waiting to happen, because California is known for fires, unfortunately, and it sucks. But who knows? Jacob Weller, you said, I don't like coffee that much, but my mom does. Well, see, that's the type of thing, Jacob, that people are trying, or that Brick is trying to point out. If Docking Bay 7 is the only area where you can get that cold brew right when the park opens, and you have to wait until 11 a.m. to drink coffee, it congest Docking Bay 7 and everything around it, just like Bricky's saying. So if they added another location for that coffee, it would kind of thin things out, and that's easily a easy fix. So we'll have to see what happens with that. David said, I'm excited for the 4th of July. Are you excited? I am excited for 4th of July and for the theme parks, because I think I went to a 4th of July event at Universal like a year or two ago. So it was a lot of fun. I was not disappointed. I could tell you that.
Beret business a little slow right now. Don't have the money to turn those fountains on. This rooftop is looking like a serious fire danger. Look how dry that looks. Remember when it used to be real lush and grassy green? Yeah, me too. Speaking of another area that needs to be watered, look beyond the Haunted Mansion. If you can look around Madame Leota's Bed Bath & Beyond, you can see that the berm also is extremely dry. I'm curious why Disneyland has these two really, really dry brush areas inside of the park, and why these haven't been better maintained. It's interesting. I don't recall ever seeing these two areas look this way before. Still construction walls up at the patio of the Tiki Room as they work on the outdoor stage elements. We'll be excited to see how they bring back props that have been around since the 60s, but had to get adapted to modern audiences' behavior. But this project does take away one of my absolute favorite patios. Sitting here, watching provide such a nice tucked away look at one of the busiest original lands at Disneyland. And the only way to politely film this would be at Rope Drop, which I still haven't had a chance to rope drop over here. But there is new artwork outside of the restroom walls that took forever for them to edit, but at least the new edit did come with some art and not just some generic walls. I'm always ready to wait if there's a payoff.
Starting your own membership
There you
can
go
feel
with
like
that.
a big step. And to tap into the predictable revenue that membership.
So I want to get to 2 comments real quick. Brandon Smith said, yeah, Universal Hollywood brings out special entertainment for the 4th. Yeah, that's, you know, when it comes to nighttime events, after dark events for Universal, I love Universal. I think it takes the cake against Disney when it comes to that. Jacob Weller said, I think if they added Stitch to the Tiki Room, it would be awesome. I don't know if they would, but if they did, it would be awesome. Maybe as an overlay, not permanent, but an overlay, that would be pretty cool.
Shooting across the hub, we can see that it is beginning to become a very busy spring day. Thank you so much to the person that pointed out to me that it's not summer, although I'm going to ignore your advice because to me summer is always Memorial Day to Labor Day. Then fall is to like Christmas. Then it becomes winter. I just go by the holidays. It's just easier. I literally just saw a bird fly right into that birdhouse, which I never noticed until today. Thank you, little bird, for showing me something new.
I just want to point out something before we go to our next video for reaction. Shout out to the cast members, dude, at Disneyland. It cannot be easy to sit there and wear costumes like that with the big heads, you know, dancing around on Main Street when it's so hot outside. Because like Ricky said, you know, technically it is kind of still spring, but I think it's more summer than anything because it's hotter than Jesus out here in Southern California. So shout out to the cast members. Man, you guys are troopers. Let's get to 2 comments here. Yeah, even the characters. Yeah, for sure. Jacob's all like, I'd die in that mascot outfit. Probably. I would probably pass out. It's hot. It's hot. You know what's funny is like watching the band walk down Main Street and play. It reminds me so much of high school because I used to for like our high school football team, like varsity, every Friday night when they had a home game at the high school, at my high school. I love watching the marching band. I love watching them, and just hearing them play was awesome. So this brings back memories for me watching them play.
There you go, my friends. A little vibe bonus at the end there as the Disneyland band and the Fab Five come marching down Main Street to do their thing. I hope you enjoyed this.
And shout out to Bricky for this amazing video. All the credit goes to him. So with that, we are going to go on to our next video, and this is from Alicia Stella about Epic Universe news. So let's check this out. And again, we're going to do the exact same thing. If you guys post comments, I will answer them as we're playing the video. So don't think I'm going to ignore your comment. That's not how I do things here on the channel. So just to let you guys know.
It's actually happening. New permits have confirmed that the first expansion to Universal Epic Universe is now beginning. Known as Project 915 in official documents, permits for vertical construction have been filed with Orange County. Plus, there are other smaller projects happening around the park to check in on, like official time frame for Phase 2 dining, modifications to some of the roller coasters, and more. Let's see what we can learn from public documents regarding new projects at Epic Universe in today's news update. Epic Universe officially grand opened just last month, and while the park has been quietly finishing smaller projects like landscaping, pathway improvements, and more, there have also been dozens of new permits submitted to the City of Orlando for upcoming work as well. For the past few weeks, there have been around a dozen or so notices of commencement for new signage to be installed at Epic Universe, and countless more that simply list the vague professional services as the type of work to be done. But it's a couple of new permits for an entirely new project number that may be the most interesting.
75% of consumers prefer to connect with their favorite brands through SMS.
Known in documents as Project 915, one permit describes the work as 40,178 square feet in size. That permit says it will be for new building construction, including but not limited to relocating existing utilities, installing new utilities, site grading, and foundation for a new building. A second permit simply lists the work as for vertical construction. Both of the Project 915 permits have an expiration date in December of this year, so we can hopefully expect to see movement on this project soon. The leading theory for the location of Project 915 is the expansion pad located between Super Nintendo World and the park's entry area. The square footage listed in the permits seem to line up with this space, which is seen here in this aerial photo by BioReconstruct as a cleared plot of land backstage, with a connection directly to Celestial Park. From inside the park, what appears to be a temporary wall with a backstage gate can be seen blocking the view of this expansion pad. It can be spotted directly across the path from the Atlantic full-service restaurant. This plot of land was originally rumored to be home to a future parade building years ago, but newer permit drawings now show future parade buildings coming to the back of the park, including one behind Dark Universe. Newer rumors for this new expansion are for some sort of multi-purpose soundstage or theater structure to be built, which would add a new event venue to Celestial Park.
So I want to ask you guys, everybody, with Epic Universe just opening last month, like Alicia Stella was saying, do you guys think it's already too soon for them to be, building, filing permits for expansion and adding all these different permits, for new signage, not just new signage, but fixing, completing other small projects that haven't been completed yet since the grand opening day last month? What do you guys think? Jacob Weller posted in the comments, he said vertical construction means what exactly? They construct vertical? Yes. That means when they're doing vertical construction, when they come out and say, whoever it might be, vertical construction, that means you see how you see the walls here, the construction walls. If you start seeing a structure pop up where you could see it in a public area and you could see it behind the construction walls, that's what vertical construction means. David said, I love this Disney music. Yeah, Disney music's awesome. But you have to always watch out as a content creator because it will get you a copyright. That's the only bad part.
However, these may be guesses based on older rumors, and we won't be certain until more permit documents are filed or work starts. With a little over 40,000 square feet to work with, they have enough room to build any of the existing sound stages at Universal Studios Florida with plenty of room to spare. One of the two Project 915 permits lists the project as 30,337 square feet, so maybe that will be the actual building's footprint, leaving 40,000 as the measurement for the entire work site. So far, the only visible change to this site in the last couple weeks appears to be the removal of portable offices that were originally located at the back of this plot, as we can see when comparing an older aerial photo to one taken just a couple days ago. With permits for vertical construction already starting to post, it may not be long until we see movement on Project 915, and hopefully then we'll get more answers.
Well, I want to point something out to you guys. I'm not saying it's, well, maybe I am saying it's kind of bad in a way. Why would you put off a Celestial Park? Because we don't know. Nobody knows what's going in that spot. It could be like Alicia's saying. It could be a soundstage. It could be a theater type outdoor show. It could be a parade warehouse. I don't know. To me, you would honestly think they would put some type of either show stage that you can, kind of like what the Fantasyland theater is in Disneyland, or like what they have at Universal at all their parks with the oh my god, I'm drawing a blank now, with the Waterworld show, something like that. Because if it's going to be a building that's enclosed and not look great and it's going to look like a soundstage, I don't think that's the best idea. I'm just saying.
One Phase 2 project that we do have answers on is for the two new combined dining locations on the other side of the front of the park. Known in permits as Project 914, there are now signs on all of the doors for this new restaurant. The signs say, "A galaxy of flavors and culinary delights are coming in 2026. If you happen to have caught my recent vlog from inside of Epic Universe, you already know that rumors have had this new dining location opening as soon as January of next year.
So I also want to point something out. They've had, and I'm not dissing Universal with their construction projects, because Universal seems to be on top of things when it comes to construction and building. But it is kind of weird to me that this massive building that's going to have a restaurant was not open with Epic Universe, and it's not going to be open until 2026. I do find that a little odd. Why it wouldn't be open? Because you would think people, would want to, dine and be entertained. And plus, this is in Florida, and all the trees and vegetation that you see from people filming in Epic Universe, from Alicia Stella to Jared from Capture the Magic to Tom Corliss from WWNT to anybody that goes out there, there's not much shade. So you would think a building like this, where it's all indoors and it's a restaurant, wouldn't have been open with Epic Universe, but now it's going to open in 2026. I do find that a little weird. Jacob Weather says, anything to improve the parks. I would agree with that. Also, he said, I think a themed show would be awesome. Maybe showing some celestial gods. Oh, I 100% agree with that. I would love to see that. Jacob Weather said, or creature. Possibility. So who knows?
But now we know for sure that it will not be until then at the soonest. Team members working at Epic Universe have confirmed that they believe it will feature two entrances, one for an Italian eatery and the other for a Mexican restaurant. But that could change as we get closer to an official announcement. With the Project 914 dining location wrapping up and Project 915 about to begin, the only other active new project for Epic Universe has been Project 375. This ongoing smaller project has been reported to be for modifications to some of the seats on some of the attractions around the park. 2 of the park's roller coasters, Hiccup's Wing Gliders, and Stardust Racers have received new modified seating which can accommodate guests with larger dimensions. The new Wing Glider seats have already been installed in the last row of the trains, offering a wider, more accommodating seat. Dragon Racers Rally has also received a modified seat on one of its 2 spinning towers. Stardust Racers is expected to see modified seating installed on row 6 of its trains. And these photos even show a delivery from mock rides featuring the Project 375 number on them. We will continue to monitor other possible expansion projects for Epic Universe, but seems like whatever Project 915 is going to be the first expansion to the park after opening.
We used a Spectrum savings calculator before. I learned that since we're existing Spectrum Internet customers, we get...
There have been some other elements of Epic Universe that we had expected to see, but the company says are still in development. One, of course, is fireworks. In an interview with the Orlando Weekly, the senior manager of show direction for Epic Universe says that they're still looking into fireworks and that they're still working on it. As we have seen in aerial photos from BioReconstruct, only temporary launch sites have been set up just for the few occasions that fireworks were set off at Epic Universe, including the large demonstration for media that took place the night before grand opening. A permanent launch site may still need to be constructed within the pond behind the Universal Helios Grand Hotel before we can see regular fireworks along with the nightly fountain show. Looking at photos of the future launch site from just a couple days ago, we can see pipes sticking out of the ground, so it's possible that initial utility work has already begun on a permanent launch pad. Another long-touted element of the park that was not ready for opening are the Flying Dragon drones. Universal Creative is still fine-tuning the Dragon drones, according to an interview in the Orange County Register last month. Universal says they're right on the threshold of being able to release and that it'll really add to the skyline. Ongoing projects at Epic Universe are not the only work happening at the resort, as multiple permits continue to drop for Project 830 at Universal Studios Florida. That's the project to demolish and replace Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Officially closing August 18th, Rocket will be torn down and replaced with a new attraction, which everyone assumes will be a new roller coaster, probably from Intamin, as permits have hinted at. Since our latest update video on the Rocket replacement, work walls have now gone up around the firehouse facade in the New York section of Universal Studios. There are signs on these walls that indicate the facade may be restored to once again reflect the Ghostbusters theme. Land clearing work is happening behind this area as well, preparing for the construction of 2 new buildings related to the new attraction. So even though the existing ride won't be demolished until mid-August at the earliest, they are wasting no time starting now on its replacement. In our last video, we did share the opinion that this ride may be an Orlando version of the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift Coaster opening next year at Universal Hollywood. But with the Ghostbusters hints on the work walls around the area, it's becoming harder.
So I want to point something out here. Okay. I really, and I mean really hope to God that Rip Ride Rocket is not replaced with the Fast and Furious coaster. I think personally that needs to be exclusive to Hollywood. I agree with some of my fellow content creators saying that there has been in the past too much of the same attractions, same lands being duplicated in the parks. I think at this point it needs to be different per park. And like Alicia Stella is starting to talk about that with the firehouse, I think this attraction should be a Ghostbuster themed roller coaster. I would absolutely love that. I really hope to God it's not Fast and Furious, but I do have faith because of the firehouse and because it's intimate. So hopefully we'll see. Jacob Weather says, I agree. Ghostbusters would be better. I so want that. I so want that. So we'll see.
To discount the possibility of this new mystery project perhaps having something to do with that property. See our recent video for more permit details on the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket replacement, and subscribe to the channel to never miss an update as we follow that project, as well as any new expansion projects for Epic Universe over the coming years. If you like what we do, consider joining our Patreon for perks like exclusive posts, your name in the credits, and more. Patreon.com/ThemeParkStop. Thanks.
There you go. So, you know, reviewing what's going on so far at the Disneyland Resort. Obviously, Walt Disney World has Animal Kingdom ripped apart. It's starting to become like freaking Epcot 3.0 with the walls and nonsense. And then everything going on at Epic Universe with the expansion, that massive building that's going to host an Italian restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, and then whatever's going in that expansion slot. Then we also saw a location for fireworks. It's going to be a semi-permanent location. Alicia Stella showed on her video showing that they do have conduit coming out of the ground. Also, they're trying to get that dragon going. That dragon would be cool to see in the sky and whatnot. And then also seeing the nighttime entertainment looks absolutely amazing. So we'll see. Brandon Smith said, I literally said in one of your X spaces that the replacement for Rip Ride Rocket would be Ghostbusters. I give you 100% credit with that. As long as they stick with Ghostbusters, I'm fine with that. If they decide to do a Fast and Furious, I'm going to start crying. Not literally, but figuratively. Because I don't think we need any more copies of any of that nonsense. So hopefully not. Hopefully not. But I just want to show a couple things here. Let's see. Let me get off mine. These are the current pictures. We're jumping back to Universal Hollywood now because we're done with the video reviews. But this is that current hillside project behind the Mummy. And then down here you can see that this is going to be the entrance for Adjacent Universe for HHN, which is the newest house to be announced for HHN 2025. What's got me interested is, are they going to finish this project, or at least get it to a point where they can open up these construction walls and block this off where people can start lining up for this right here? Because this is going to be the front. This is going to be the front of that house. So we'll see. That's a blurry picture, but there's some new steel out of the ground. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, it looks interesting to say the least. And then this is from Sammyland. This is Knott's Berry Farm for Knott's Scary Farm construction. Looks absolutely incredible. That facade looks incredible. I cannot wait to go to Knott's Scary Farm this year. It's going to be freaking awesome, guys. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm just trying to see. I want to get this thing right here. This thing looks pretty cool. This stained glass thing. I think I'm going to buy that next time I go to Universal. I definitely want to get that for sure. Okay, so for all my Jurassic Park fans out there, well, it's not Jurassic Park anymore, Jurassic World, but us OG fans will always call it Jurassic Park. Who's ready for the new movie? I'm gonna probably go see it myself, per se, but we'll see. We'll see. But I'm ready for it. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. A lot of people said on the last Jurassic World movie that was kind of crappy. I don't know, dude. Bringing all a lot of the original cast out of retirement, as I call it, with Dr. Grant. You got Dr. Grant. You got oh my god. Now I'm starting to lose it. You got Dr. Grant. You got Ian Malcolm. You got I forgot what the female character's name. Then you had Bryce Dallas Howard. You had who else? You had oh my god. Now I'm forgetting his name. But I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was bad. Now I do have to say with like the locusts, yeah, that was kind of weird. Park Explorer Adventure said that Not Scary Farm facade has to be. Oh, definitely. Brandon Smith said the first Jurassic Park movie for me on the big screen. Oh, really? Okay. Arkham Asylum. That would be sick. That would be sick. That would be awesome if it was Arkham Asylum. I'll tell you that. But I just want to point this out. Like I said, Jason Universe is the newest house. We're expecting another announcement, hopefully sometime this week, for HHN. So definitely grab your tickets while you can, because they're only going to sell out quicker. Jacob Weller said, more interested in How to Train Your Dragon, which I did see next movie I want to see is coming to theaters in December is Avatar. Yeah, Avatar is going to be great. Avatar is always great. James Cameron is... Don't even get me started with James Cameron. He's amazing. So I cannot wait for that. I don't know. For Jurassic World, I think I will go see it because I've seen every Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movie in theaters. Well, actually, I take that back. Jurassic Park, and I think the second Jurassic Park movie, I didn't see in theaters because I was obviously way too young. But Jurassic Park 3 I might have seen in theaters, and then all the other movies I've seen in theaters. So I think I will go see it. What's the other thing I want to talk to you guys about? Oh, okay. So let me go back to X for a minute because I wanted to point some stuff out. This is going to be from Theme Park Wizard here. Let's go to Theme Park Wizard. And again, please show your love and support and go check out Theme Park Wizard. Subscribe to this channel. Follow him on socials because he is what I call the OG when it comes to Universal Hollywood permits. So definitely please go check him out. He has a new video, Secrets and History of the Simpsons Ride. So that was a very interesting video. Please go check that out. So I wanted to point this out. This was a couple days ago. This is construction work happening in the Woody Woodpecker parking lot for one of 3 security hubs that are going to be installed at Universal Hollywood. And then right adjacent to this project is going to be the 500-room hotel. So definitely go check him out. Jacob Weller says OG original grandpa. Huh, there you go. That's awesome. And then Jurassic World, the ride, has some new updates on it. You could pay to squirt people like the water cannons, you can squirt people as they're coming down the ramp here, but they've increased the blast cannons on the bottom towards the drop here. So you will get blasted and you will get soaked. But nowadays, when it's so hot, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. So yeah, you can see here getting soaked right there. And they're continuing to do the pull through for for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. So definitely go check that out. It's very, very interesting to watch. Brandon Smith said, so far I haven't seen progress on the security station near the fountain yet. So Brandon Smith, that's a great point. Okay. They will not do anything with that security in front of the fountain yet until how can I put it? Until wait. Which security hub are you talking about? Are you talking about the one that's next to Margaritaville, or are you talking about the one that's in front of the park that we go through now to get inside? Which one are you talking about? If you could clarify that, that would be great. But if you're talking about the one that we're using right now to get into the park, they will not touch that until the other 3 security hubs are built and operational. Because no, the one near the fountain at the okay, I know which one you're talking about. So they won't touch that. I don't know when they're going to touch that actually. So your guess is as good as mine. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I'm not sure when they're going to start that one. But hopefully very soon. I would really hope. But we'll see. We'll see. You know, let's see if we can. We'll do one. So we're gonna do one more reveal video here. So let me stop the screen real quick. And this is again from Theme Park Wizards. So let's go back here. I'm gonna mute this because I hate ads. Ads suck. Okay. So
Universal Studios Hollywood is gearing up for a major expansion. If you watch this channel or follow Universal Studios Hollywood, you probably know that Universal Studios Hollywood has some major expansion plans in the way, including a new roller coaster which is being built now and is scheduled to open in 2026. A couple of months ago, I did a video on a massive expansion project with a permit file about the relocation of the mill structure and allowing for a lower lot expansion. Well, today, another piece of that expansion puzzle has been solved, with the permit being filed again for the construction of a new building in the Z lot. The Z lot is an open surface lot that is behind the ET parking structure. At one point, it was going to be expansion space for the ET parking structure. They're going to build another parking structure there, but plans changed and now something else is going there. Right now, there's a sheriff station occupying part of the lot, but a large part of the lot is an open level surface lot, which is storage stuff like there's staging for like superintendable stuff and staging in general for park related needs. Well, a brand new tech services building is going to be built there. The permit specifically states that the proposed project equals the construction of a new building on the Z lot, but that new building is going to be a new tech services building, and that is thanks to this video from Cow Missing. I'd like to credit Cow Missing for most of these photos I'm about to show you here on this video, and I'll link the full video that he made last year down below. So right now, the current tech services building is located on the upper lot in between kind of Falls Lake and behind City Walk and behind where iFly was, and the H lot and the whole Harry Potter area. It's kind of blocks that entire area, and without that area, without the tech services building there, some major expansions could be made, whether it's a new hotel or theme park expansion. Well, in Cow Missing's video, he shows you that where the new new tech services building could be built or will be built, and demolishing the current one, what that can make for expansion space, how large the expansion space, the new contiguous expansion space could be with the old tech services building demolished. These renderings of the tech services building are actual official renderings from the developer's website from 2024 of what the new tech services building will look like. So it's likely that these renderings are pretty accurate or near accurate to what the new building will look like on the H lot here at Universal. Now, the permit for this was filed today, so it will be a little bit before it actually starts construction, because this is just the base permit. Then we have to wait for this substantial conformance review, which will probably get filed in a couple of weeks. And then when that is approved, then this building can start construction. Hopefully by Halloween Horror Nights, we'll see some actual action here at the ET lot. So let's take a look at that future expansion map once again. Rumors have it that the Studio Tour will be relocated down to the lower lot in 2027. This new building, if they start construction this year, shouldn't be too big, so hopefully it can be finished by 2026 or 2027, which leads the demo of the current building to be and probably 2026 or 2027. You can see how big that contiguous space would be if they want to, again, do some sort of Hogwarts Express in Diagon Alley or whatever Harry Potter expansion in the Falls Lake area, supercharged, or if they want to do their second hotel in that spot, for if you can combine the H lot where the Halloween Horror Nights mazes are, plus the tech services lot, you can put a nice family resort there. The possibilities are pretty much endless there. But if the Studio Tour relocates, you see how big of a space that could be with the tram garage, the Studio Tour Plaza, plus the tech services area and the Falls Lake area. It's a pretty sizable chunk of land. So the possibilities, like I said, are quite endless, and they could be coming up pretty soon, because you've seen the renderings here. It's only like a one-story building. The current one is only a one-story building, so it shouldn't take that long to build. Again, most 2 years, but likely even could be a year to year and a half. And that's if they can hurry up and get started by Halloween Horror Nights. With such a large piece of land, what IPs would you want to be in this land? You might ask him, Ethan, what's going to be in this land? Well, could it be Hogwarts Express, Ministry of Magic, Diagon Alley, that long-standing rumor, or it could be something else. Could be some anime, could be Pokemon, could be anything. And so what IP would you want to take over? The Springfield area? What IPs? Because there'd be like 2 or 3 lands here. That Springfield, Falls Lake, and the tram loading area, as well as the tram garage area, which is that big building to the right of that. That's a big plot of land for a sizable upper lot, multi-year upper lot expansion in the 2030s. Let me know in the comments below, what type of lands would you want over there? And are you excited at the prospect of Universal expansion moving forward, potentially on the upper lot and lower lot, at least for the tech services building? That's kind of signaling an upper lot expansion, whether it's a hotel, second hotel by Time City Walk.
So I want to ask you guys, Ethan was pointing all this out, and obviously you got the current tech services building right here. It's going to be relocated way down here next to the sheriff's station. Does anyone think at this point we're going to get some type of Harry Potter expansion that's going to take over this area or this area? Or do you think it's going to be some type of other expansion? Because do remember, we do have more expansion spots than this right here. Because if I may point something out here, let me go back to my screen here, because I'm going to point something out to you guys so that way you guys can see it here. Let me go to Google Maps real quick. That way everyone can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. Let's go to Universal. Okay. So, I don't know why the screen's so bright all of a sudden. Let me see if I can not have that so bright. Let me see. Okay. Let me see if I can fix it for you guys so you guys can see it here. I don't know why it's so bright. It's so weird. Let me go to... Okay. So the expansion slot he's looking at is... Let me see. It is... it's hard to see it. It's weird. Okay. So it's right here, actually. So it's this down here, and you got this. So it's all this right here. You know, and the other expansion slot I was talking about, because you got Super Nintendo World right here. These sound stages back here are supposed to be rumored to go away. Soundstage 14, I don't know if it's going away or not, and possibility. This soundstage here is going away. Well, this is not a soundstage. This is the studio post, which is, from what I heard, is now relocated to the campus over here. And this kind of building right here, and I know it's hard to see, is the mill building, which the mill building is supposed to be relocated next to, see if I can get to it real quick, next to Earthquake, because right here, as you exit Earthquake, there is construction fences. This used to be part of the old 6-point Texas Western town, and now it's been torn down. It's flat, and this whole area is supposed to be where the wood mill is supposed to be relocated, and the wood mill is not for guests. It's for the studio, for building you know, props, building sets for the movies, for TV shows, for commercials, so on. So that's what the mill is for. So we'll have to wait and see. But personally, for me, for expansion, I would personally like to see a I personally would like to see a Harry Potter expansion, Dark Universe expansion. I would like to see a Super Nintendo World expansion, and maybe, just maybe, I'm not holding my breath, but maybe a Jurassic World expansion. So we'll have to wait and see, but we're going to get to some comments here from you guys. Brandon Smith said the Studio Tour Plaza plus Supercharged and Nope would become either a portion of Wicked or a American Ministry of Magic. So I'm actually hoping for a Harry Potter expansion, to be honest with you, Brandon Smith. Don't get me wrong, I love Wicked, but I think a Harry Potter expansion would be better in that area. So we'll have to wait and see. Jacob Weller says maybe a Harry Potter, maybe even something new. Well, again, I think Harry Potter should go in that spot, because if they brought the Hogwarts Express, I'm just saying if they did, I'm not saying they're going to, but if they would build the King's Cross station right where you enter to go into the studio tour, and probably use some of that extended queue for Forbidden Journey that never gets used for the King's Cross station entrance into the station to get to the train, which it would be put where the studio tour is now. And then it would drive down to the Falls Lake area where that Nope, Fast and Furious, Supercharged, and the Falls Lake area would become a Harry Potter expansion. So we'll have to wait and see. Albert Rodriguez said some people thought that once Epic opened, that those engineers would come back to Hollywood to work on the expansion. But now I'm seeing Epic already filed for expansion permits. That is 100% true. Epic Universe has filed for expansions. Some of the locations that they are talking about expansions is buildings that are already up that are not operational yet, or that that empty plot of land. I don't think they need too many engineers out there in Epic right now. I think the focus should be turned back to Hollywood, knowing that the Olympics are only 3 years away. So I would honestly think they would come back to Hollywood, but we'll see. We'll see. Jacob Weller said maybe Legend of Zelda. So the only problem I have with Zelda is I think that's going to be an expansion slot for Epic Universe because there's a lot of reference to Zelda in their Super Nintendo world. So I think Zelda's going to go out there, unfortunately. Brandon Smith said also Falls Lake and Park Lake may get a redevelopment. So Park Lake is actually at this point going to be drained at some point, and 2 massive soundstage buildings are going to be built there. And the reason it's going to be built in that location is because some of the older sound stages behind like Super Nintendo World, Transformers, Jurassic World, those are going to be torn out for theme park expansion. So, and Falls Lake is, like you heard Wizard say, that is going to be turning into a theme park expansion, whatever it might be. Park Explorer Adventure said it would be cool if Pokemon comes to Hollywood. It would be cool, don't get me wrong. I would like to see a focus group on that, though. And what I mean by a focus group, I think a great opportunity for Pokemon to test it in the park would be having it come to Fan Fest before they build a permanent location, because that's the only bad part about Hollywood. It's so much smaller than its Orlando counterpart. Whatever they decide to build at Hollywood needs to last at least minimum 10 to 15 years. So I would like to see it, what I'm going to call focus test first at FanFest, because Universal Hollywood has already confirmed we are getting FanFest back for next year. So I would like to see Pokemon come for FanFest, and kind of give it a test before they build something completely permanent. I think that's just fair to say. And then, going to Disneyland with all the construction that's going on there, you walk through downtown Disney, they got the Earl Sandwich building that's being currently constructed. You got the former Tortilla Joe's location completely leveled to the ground, minus a structure, like part of a structure. I think it was like an elevator shaft or something like that, that's still standing from the from that location. That's going to be a barbecue joint and a high-end steakhouse. Then you got, supposedly they're going to be closing off Earl Sandwich that took over the former La Bea Bakery location. That's going to be turned into a massive Portos. So that's going to be happening. Then you got 4 new attractions that are being built in DCA. And then hopefully something with Tomorrowland happens in the next couple of years, I hope. Because it needs to happen. It needs to happen. Because I'm tired of looking at it, quite frankly. Brandon Smith said, at Park Explorer Adventures, it might be the replacement for the Simpsons or portions of Springfield. It might be. It might be. But again, I would like to see that focus tested first. And the great way to do that is have it at FanFest before they build something permanent. Jacob Weller said, I would love to see a Demon Slayer at FanFest. I would love to see that too. That would be awesome. That would be fantastic. Brandon Smith said, plus 2 unused ticket booths. Yeah, so 2 unused ticket booths in the Esplanade next to the temporary location of Earl Sandwich are going to be torn down for that massive Portos, because it's humongous. It's totally massive. It's big. But there's a lot of things happening for the Disneyland Resort for Universal Hollywood. I'm planning on going back to Universal Hollywood very, very, very soon, I hope. But one of the things I'm looking forward to this year for you guys, and this is going to be something that I've never done before starting the channel, was I'm going to be going to Epic Universe in March of next year with Tommy Toon World. It'll be my first time to Orlando at an Orlando theme park. I've been to Orlando for a cruise and whatnot, but I've never been to an Orlando theme park, so I'm super excited for that. I'm going to be doing Epic Universe. I'm going to be doing Walt Disney World with Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, and definitely Epcot. I want to do Epcot so bad. Also, I'm going to be hopefully doing Islands of Adventure. So it's going to be some amazing content coming up on the channel in the next year or so. Also, I'm going to be doing hopefully Horror Unleashed. That's opening not, I think, in about a month and a half, August 14th in Las Vegas. And then I will be doing my annual HHN trip with Tommy Toon World. So there's going to be a lot of amazing content out there for you guys. I cannot wait. And then also I want to put it out there. I am looking for somebody that is a content creator that, you know, preferably goes to the Orlando theme parks or lives in Orlando and would like to be a contributor on Theme Park Conductor and have a East Coast version of that to add to the channel. So I will be taking recommendations. So if you are interested, you do live in the Orlando area, you do go to the Orlando theme parks like Walt Disney World, Universal, some of the other parks they have out there, let me know, DM me. We'll do a Skype session or something like that. We'll talk, and if it works out, then you might just be a new contributor to the channel. So let me know, post in the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram. But I am looking for an outsource to come in and join Theme Park Conductor. So let me know, guys. Let me know. Jacob Waller says, drink lots of water, no kidney stones. Yeah, I don't want any kidney stones. Not like George from Citrico Central. I felt so horrible for him, but he turned it right around, him and Abby, and they had a wonderful time in Orlando. Had a lot of amazing content for his channel, so definitely go check out Citrico Central. Albert Rodriguez said, I'm going to Epic next year and also plan on doing HHN Orlando with premium scare night. But that means I won't be able to go to Hollywood next year. Well, you know what's funny, Albert? Me and Tommy Toon World were actually talking about that. We are planning on doing a Orlando trip out there for HHN in the future, but I think it won't be for another couple years because Epic Universe is going to be very costly. And then all the stuff I want to do with, you know, Walt Disney World and possibly a day at Islands of Adventure. So it probably won't happen for another 2 or 3 years. So, but me and Tommy Toon World have been talking about that. So definitely stay tuned for that. But I want to thank everybody for joining tonight's live stream. You guys are always amazing, always awesome. Shout out to all of our moderators. Again, I'm just going to name a few. We got Orange Grove 55, George from Citrico Central, Tommy Toon World. We got Mondo from Five Fires, Theme Park Wizard, and so many others. Again, they are all moderators because they absolutely help me start my channel. So they are always welcome to come on the channel, and anybody's welcome to come on the channel. Just DM me on Instagram if you want to come on the channel and talk theme parks. I'm always open to do so. And then, like we were talking earlier, when Hey Bricky does drop that video for the Matterhorn, we will be doing a review on that on one of our Conductor Sunday live streams with Orange Grove 55 and George from Citric Coast Central. We will be doing that, and that will be probably the main focus of that live stream that Sunday whenever that video drops. So definitely stay tuned for that. Again, I'm your host, Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Bluesky at Theme Park Conductor, all one word. You can find me on X at Theme Conductor on X. You can find me every Sunday on Conductor Sunday live stream, where we talk all about Universal, Disneyland. We talk about other theme parks. We talk about events coming up for the theme parks. So definitely stay tuned and make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And also, I will be trying to come out with member only videos on the channel. I haven't done so yet. Also, just programming note as well, when I am doing these live streams, whether I'm home or I'm on location, it always helps out. You can now send super chats during the live streams, so just do keep that in mind. If you want to show your support, it's always welcome. But having you guys watch is always support as well. So I do want to thank you guys. I want to thank everybody in the chat for all the amazing questions. You guys are all awesome and amazing. And I will be trying to get Theme Park Obsession. I'm still working on it. I've been communicating with him back and forth any way I can to get him on the channel. I would love to get him on the channel before he decides to move to Florida. So I will be continuing to do so. It might take a little while longer, but I will try my best to get him on one of these Conductor Sunday live streams. Have a good night, everybody.